Today on my post, not on Instagram, but the post that I have on my other platform, I talked about, or I asked about how you feel. Where are you? You know, are you satisfied with where you are? And I had to say it out loud to myself. No, I'm not. I'm not satisfied because I got stuck doing the same thing over and over and over. And I was just leaving a message, a voice message for someone. And I felt all I was hearing was excuses. And I have a mentor she would have said, cry me a river. And truly, cry me a river. It's either you do it. I dropped the phone. My mentor would have said, cry me a river. I was talking to someone about the task that I am backed up on, that I needed to work on, that I needed to deliver. And I'm realizing how much it sounded like excuses. You know how we plan to do things, we think we are doing things, we are creating to do things, and then all of a sudden we come up with all these negativity, all those limiting thoughts, right? We're saying to ourselves things that are not true. And for those of you who have been following me, that's what, how many years of Instagram? So you know I'm very keen into, you know, talking about holding on your truth. And yet I realized how much I was not holding on my truth. And I had to say it to myself. I had to remind myself that my plan, my goals were to show up as my best self. And at some point I derailed. At some point I just went off tangent, and I was just not being authentic and not being true. After I sat there listening to myself talking, I realized that this is total bullshit. You know, it's like, it's either you do it or you don't. It's either you show up or you don't show up. It's either you do the work and you give your all, or you don't and you sound mediocre. It's either you embrace who you are and embrace your flaws, whether people judge you or not. Just show up as your best self. So how are you showing up today? How? What are the things that are making you feel good about yourself? Are you satisfied about where you are? And if you are not satisfied about it, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? How are you willing to show up? And it's dawning to me, because I talk about it all the time. I coach about it all the time. But as I said, I've been in a process of transformation. A lot of pivoting has been happening. A lot of pivoting, a lot of shedding, a lot of living behind. And more of the times that I'm getting my truth coming in and I'm saying things to myself, and I'm realizing that, girl, child, what have you learned?